You're welcome to join us Tuesday if you want to come down and see Beck. I know you're
where?
You're well, we can't say.
Can't say where it is. It's kind
Super
of
secret location.
Because everybody's not invited. You got to have a ticket to get in.
Well, let me explain how my map works, fellas.
Okay.
It's kind of like when they'd have that old Dragnet show where they had a map of the city and they put a pin in it.
Right.
Okay. The red pin represents me, which is right in the middle of the map.
Right.
Now, my Beck radius is about 20 yards from the house. You understand?
You're not going to be
As far
showing
as
up
you'll
then.
go, huh?
Yeah, now Sugarloaf, I'll encompass the entire city for that band. I'll go from San Diego over to Santa Barbara for the loaf.
That tells us all we need to know about
Back is as far as I can chuck feces from my porch. That is as far as I'll go for back.
Let me tell you that
if he's playing at my neighbor's house or my porch, I'm there. Anything further than that, I'm sleeping.
Well, in this case, it's your loss because it's going to be a terrific show.
All right.
It's really going to be great.
What do you got for us today, Mr. B?
Love that Casio. What?
What do you got for us today?
A couple of subjects. First, real quickly, heard you talking about the El Niño.
Oh, yeah, the big storm that's going to be here in about a month.
Right. There's really nothing we can do about this, obviously. It's one of those acts of God. And people are worried about themselves and their house, but here's who really suffers, folks, the pets. A lot of pets outside.
Right.
I heard El Niño talking about the bean menagerie, the beangerie over there.
Right.
Yeah, I tell you, when it starts raining like that, I mean, these animals that are outdoors, like even Kevin mentioned, his dogs spend a lot of time outdoors. It's just, it's miserable for them.
Well, I have a tip for the listeners with pets that might be outdoors during these weather.
What's that?
I know it sounds bizarre, but please bear with me. Start introducing silicone caulk into their diet now. Today. Start it today. Hell, a dog will eat anything. Come on. I'm not saying feed them caulk right out of the tube, but just work a little into the kibbles and bits each morning.
That'll help it, will it?
Waterproof.
When the rain comes?
I can't see it hurt. I don't think it would hurt them, would it?
Okay.
I'd just as soon not take my tips on how to feed my animals from you, though.
Well, here's what I'm saying. Don't give them a whole tube of the stuff.
Right, just work
you
it
work
in.
just like a good line. Like, when you get one of those, some pastry and it just has a little bit of the frosting, just that squiggly Richter scale line of the frosting. Just do that right over the top of the canned food there.
I know that winter a couple years ago when you made me give my cat antifreeze for the same reason. It didn't work out very well.
Well, you're inferior genetics. Most
That
cats
cat would have died at age 2 anyway. Thanks.
My point is by the time the El Nino hits, the things would have taken the equivalent to a couple of cases of this stuff.
Right.
Okay.
I'll pass.
Number 2, where the hell's that article? Doc handed me an article right as I was walking in here, and I was disgusted and appalled by it. Strip tease for charity canceled. Apparently, this Danny Ash, one of the busty broads on the internet, was having a whole thing where they got 40 exotic dancers together, and they did a striptease charity benefit for Children of the Night. Apparently, the LAPD Vice Squad has decided to shut it down, said they'd be, they'd send undercover agents over there, and if they saw anything like women touching their own breasts or something like that, they would close it down.
That's not right.
No, it is not right. Show of hands. Are there other things we'd like the cops to be working on in this city other than charity benefits for Children of the Night, for strippers, or from strippers, for adult?
No.
Do we really care?
Certainly other things we'd like the cops to be working on, but there's nothing better the cops would like to do than be working on that case.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what it is.
I'm always astounded, by the way, by these charity organizations that say, yeah, we need the money, but we're not going to take the money because we don't approve of the way you raised it, even if it's raised, in this case, in a legal manner.
Well, they're willing
your
to
money's
do it.
Your money's dirty. We won't take it.
Yeah, but in this instance, they are willing to take the money. It's just the LAPD Vice Squad has seen fit to close this down.
Find something else to concentrate on.
Well, here's my advice for LAPD and all law enforcement folks. Here's what your job is to do. Your role, you have a role in society. Let me tell you what it is. It's to do what society wants you to do, not what you enjoy doing. You understand that concept? You're here to protect us, and not only us, but our interests. If we decide that this source of crime, whether it be holdups at the ATM or whatever, carjacking, whatever's most important to us, that's what you work on, not what gives you a woody. All right, I'm done with that.
Okay.
Want to talk about the diamond ring thing?
Yes, we were talking about this.
Oh,
Last hour, the guy buys a $17,000 engagement ring, then they break up 27 days later, and she won't give it back.
let me tell you what the real tragedy here is. Not that he doesn't get the ring back, but that the word gets out that this Potts dropped $17K on a ring because it raises the bar now for everybody.
Lisa is already feeling like she got ripped off, she said.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is like, it's like during baseball when some idiot team owner decides to pay Ken Griffey $40 million a year. Everyone else is screwed now.
So we as men need to stand together and keep the top price of an engagement ring way down.
We need to do some nice collusion and drive it down. Yeah,
I think $200-300 is really all you had to pay tops.
Oh, for Christ's sake, you know how much porno you could rent for $17,000? You would never have to talk to a woman ever again. I mean, think about
That's
it.
not most guys.
Even at $4 a day.
Yeah.
I mean, do the math.
Yeah, but that's not most guys' goal, is to spend the entire time with their junk in their hands watching porno. That's not most guys' goal. I know it is yours.
He looks astounded.
I know, I
He's
bet.
This
dumbfounded.
guy's like he's speaking Japanese over here.
He can't even comprehend what Kevin's saying.
What kind of thinking is that?
What are you
Kevin?
talking about?
What are you, gay?
No, I just, a relationship is a lot better than porno.
What about the relationship you have with the porno? Doesn't that count for something?
No, not much.
I don't know. I tell you, turn the sound up, and you really got a nice back and forth going. Or at least the fourth part. Anyway, here's my point. First off, diamonds are not as precious as the broads make them out to be. They're just controlled by this big empire in Russia or something, like the De Beers company.
That's correct, yeah.
They're artificially driving the price up. Now, I do like the diamond because of its industrial applications.
Which is what?
Nothing cuts like a diamond.
Well, it's a drill bit.
Diamond saws, diamond bits, and that kind of stuff. But as far as jewelry goes, I think we need to move to a more abundant, cheaper stone like turquoise.
Oh, God.
That way, we can have the broads wearing those huge, like Elvis-size belt buckles and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And it wouldn't break the normal. The normal schmo could buy a 4.5 carat.
Yeah, I mean, look at those American Indians. They're drinking, they're gambling, they're on the dole. They still have huge chunks of turquoise. Apparently anyone can afford the turquoise.
Not much of a generalization going on there, by the way.
No. All right, here's what I would like to propose as well. I've been listening to this Skip and Steve, the Robbins brothers. You know those two guys? They own an engagement store.
Right.
Yeah, there were a
ring
lot of radio
store.
commercials, right?
Yeah, they're always sitting around yapping about, apparently somebody sneaks a tape recorder into their conversation
Right.
when they're casually talking about purchasing an engagement ring.
Right.
They tell you that the rule of thumb set by the, ring companies or the whatever cartel is 2 months' salary.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of this?
See the ads, yeah.
Right. Obviously, they're the ones who cooked this crap up.
Of course, yeah.
It should be about 10 minutes salary, but the point is it's 2 months. I'll take that, but I'd like to chip away at that. Let's take that as a jumping off point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's start at the 2 months salary, but then let's go ahead and deduct
A
for
month and a
certain
half.
violations.
Okay.
Depending on what goes on.
Okay.
Like, here's an interesting scale. Now, I know a lot of the broads may get offended by this, but I think it's true.
Never stopped you before.
That's true, Tammy. Now, quiet. Let's have it go down a week's salary for every 5 pounds she's overweight. I mean, that makes perfect sense. We'll start at 8 weeks, but we may just keep chipping away. Fat broad may only have like an hour and 45 minutes worth of salary. If she finishes off that granola bar, she'd get nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we understand.
It's like an inverse proportion theory.
Right.
The bigger the butt, the smaller the rock.
We got it.
I think this is a plan, fellas. All right. Come on, we need stuff to fire back with.
They're afraid.
All right. I would deduct a day's salary for every time her mom called. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're going to put in 2 months' salary toward an inanimate object, a worthless ring,
Yeah.
you might as well lay down some guidelines and start getting stuff your way.
Right.
Add a day for each act of sodomy she lets you perform on her. You know what I mean?
So you might actually end up spending more than 2 months' salary if she's giving enough.
Right, but you're having so much sodomy that who cares? You know?
It's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
All
Or
right.
let's say she can win it back, where it's like, Mom called, okay, bend over, and we'll break even. You know what I'm saying?
Sick.
That is
Well,
pretty sick.
I'm just trying to work out a scale here, fellas.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah, all right. I don't know if you guys have this problem, but I have this with my wife. Deduct a day for a day's salary for each time they start complaining about being cold. You ever just, your wives complain about being cold?
Sometimes.
What the hell's wrong with women? Is the heat just leaking right out of them, or what's going on there? Tammy, what's going on with women and their thermostat?
Well, see, this is going to be a problem with your scale because thin women tend to be cold. So they are thin, they get a big ring, but then they're cold, their ring shrinks. How do you work that out?
Either way, the ring shrinks. I think that works well.
You start a parka fund. No, I mean, it's the dead of summer, right? It's 85 degrees at 3 in the morning this time of year. You turn the fan on, and I swear to God, my wife, oh, hey, it's cold in here. Come on. How can you get cold when you're doing nothing but taking basically hot air and moving it around? When does the chilling effect come into play?
Sounds like you have a lot of problems at home, Mr. B.
I obviously I do, but like what I'm saying is we need to band together as men. Otherwise, we're just going to get raked over the whole diamond coals. And these Skip and Steve guys are traitors, as far as I'm concerned. They're Benedict Arnolds. They're selling out their own gender with the 2-month salary.
As is Alan for the $17,000 ring.
Absolutely. This
Doing
fool.
us no favors, right?
When he's not giving her a ring, he's giving her a car. Here's what I suggest.
All right.
I don't know when the 2-month salary falls in, but I think we should all quit our jobs during that 2 months. Go on the dole for the 2 months and buy him a ring that costs like $1.45.
Thank you for coming in today, Mr. Birchum.
All right, boys.